Wow, wow, wow. I'm happy you're here. Dear Mahsa, dear Andreas, another great day, a Sunday. Our mission is to build bridges. You do that by bike, and I'm so happy to host you today. Dear Mahsa, where are you now?
Well, I'm right now in Cairo, the capital, the mega city capital of Egypt.
Great, great. And Andreas, I assume you are in Switzerland.
Oh, I am at home, yes, in my home office, as you see, with my background, Grand Tour of Switzerland, where I'm always studying and trying to find new tracks.
Very nice, very nice. And by doing that, building bridges. Great, great.
Yeah.
Mahsa, I don't know whether our community knows Andreas and I are always very active on LinkedIn. You are also active, and I love that picture of yours where you once showed us everything you have is on that picture. I was really, really impressed. But maybe you would like to introduce yourself to our community.
Sure. Well, I have a very difficult name and family name to start with. My name is Mahsa. Family name is a little bit more scary. Homayounfar is just long, but not that difficult. It's a Persian name, and because I was born in Iran, and when I was a teenager, I moved to Germany because part of my family and relatives are German. And after finishing school and high school and university, I moved to Spain, and I became Spanish by nationality. And then I moved to Canada. I studied there. I studied in the UK. You know, like I gathered a few masters in different areas, and then I started working in something that doesn't have anything to do with what I actually studied, which is the sector of tourism. Designing motorbike trips, luxury trips in different parts of the world. I would say maybe 2013, 2014, I started kind of life as a digital nomad. I didn't know by then that the word existed.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I think it's actually quite a new term, right? I don't know when you came across that, but I didn't know. So imagine when you're doing something that doesn't have a name.
So you're a pioneer.
Yeah, later I found out that actually, if you look at digital nomads, most of them are like younger than my age, actually. And yeah, and when you also start asking people, you find out that it's like kind of a trend becoming bigger and bigger, also thanks to COVID. But maybe 4 years ago, there were very few people, and nowadays is like the dream of everybody.
Great, great. So you are paving a path for others. I love that. I love that. Great, great, great. And how many languages can you speak?
I speak, let's say, 4 languages fluently, and another language, which is French. You know, I can speak and read and write, but sometimes there are hiccups. And I learned Arabic and Russian, so I can get by in both of them. So 7.
Wow.
You know.
Wow. Wow. Great. Love that. Love that. Thank you so much. Andreas, Swizzly biker. What about you? What's new about you?
Well, I do not speak 7 languages. I speak only 4 or 5 languages. It depends how from what point on you can say that you can speak it. But it's really true with Mahsa. I can discuss in several different languages, and that's interesting. I cannot do that with many people, but not with all of those 7 languages. That's not possible.
Wow.
Yeah. So the benchmark is pretty high when it comes to languages. Yeah, so I don't know what you would like to know. I mean, people know about the Swizzly biker in Switzerland, especially. Swizzly came from the Swiss grizzly when I was in Alaska, and used to have long hair, what's hard to imagine, and a long beard. And the biker then I added later on when I thought I need an artificial name for when I talk about biking, you know. So, and that's how I started. I did also I grew up in a hotel, and did an apprenticeship in a bank, became a tourism professional, switched always between financial business and insurance business and tourism. And a few years ago, I sold my hotel, what I had, bought me a motorcycle, the one you see in my background there. I think that's the color one. It's an Indian motorcycle, Indian Roadmaster. Yeah, and then I started to become a motorcycle tour guide as well. I'm a university director and a lot of different hats, actually. That's why I had to cut my hair. Otherwise, I have a mess with the hair and hat all the time.
That's a good one. It takes time. The hair styling takes time. It is a bad thing.
Exactly.
Wow, great. Look at our points. Dear community, we're going to talk about how do you lead people and manage a company successfully as a digital nomad. And the second point is, why do you love to travel by motorcycle? And how does it help you build bridges? Because that's our mission. And what was your biggest mistake, or maybe you're learning? 3 tips for those who love business culture and traveling. Now, let's see who has joined us first before we continue, if it's okay for you. Sorry, that was the wrong one. Florian is here with us.
Hey, Florian.
Hi, Christian. Happy to have you.
Christian.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Roswitha. Morning, Nicoletta. Danke, LinkedIn user. We've got Max from Bern. I love Bern too. Morning.
The best chef in Switzerland, by the way.
And the Roswitha is very impressed. So many languages, dear Mahsa.
Thank you.
Oh, great. Now, dear Mahsa, let's start with you. You have a company. You call it not just a tourist. Maybe you'd like to tell us why you call it that way. What else is behind this name, and how do you lead people and manage a company successfully as a digital nomad?
Actually, thank you, Suzanne, to asking me about the name, because I think the name is kind of like the entire philosophy. And a lot of things in my life have developed themselves just based on certain needs I had. I always used to travel a lot since I'm like a little girl or a teenager, traveling around the world by myself, a lot of solo travels in different continents. And back before 2010, we didn't have this tourist panorama that we have now today. We didn't have any private tours. We didn't have like any respect or any room for, a nice personal experience. Everything was kind of like massified. People were put on tourist vans, tourist buses, 45 people, groups of 20 people, just like huge. And there was like a lot of a scam going on also, depending on which country I was traveling in Southeast Asia, because it's also a cheap and nice destination. And there was just no honesty and no personal connection, right? And when I came back from that trip at the end of 2000, the first decade of 2000, when I came back to Spain, I was kind of like heartbroken. I was very sad about what I had seen and what I had gone through. So there wasn't like a very, before that I had been traveling for maybe 5 months, and I didn't really enjoy it that much because there were just a lot of lies and things going on in tourism. So I decided to create something for people that really want to travel, that value a real experience and personal connection, instead of just like going somewhere to a nice, let's say I'm in Cairo, I go to pyramids, I take my pictures with a camel and I send it to everybody and everybody's jealous, and that's about it. I didn't find out about who is living there, who built it, who is now living off it, what condition is, all these things. So I decided to create a company for people like myself.
And not just a tourist.
Yes, exactly.
Going deeper, valuing culture. I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Wow. And how is it to lead people from away, from afar, from everywhere you are? How is it to lead that and to manage a company successfully? How do you do that?
Yeah, it's actually very interesting because you have to. It's a new language. So it doesn't have much to do with when you are in a physical location, when you have the the face-to-face contact, and when you're sitting somewhere else, most probably in another time zone, another climate. So it's very different, and you need to kind of change your mentality and the way your perspective on things. So I wouldn't say it's easy. It's not easy at all, but it's not impossible. So this is something fun and a very nice experiment, and you can actually do it in a very successful way for all parties. Like for me, running the things, coordinating, and for other people being part of it. I would say it's a part of our personal and professional growth, actually.
Wow. Wow, I love that. I love that. You have to love it. You have to love what you're doing and take chances. And I remember our last meeting, you said with WhatsApp, it was really a push. So you have to embrace such technological possibilities as well. I love it.
Yes, I always say in a way I was very lucky because I coincided, with all the new tools and resources and platforms we have. When I started, people started having more money and trying to, travel the world. They became more interested. There were more flights. We had Tripadvisor, where people would be kind of like the old version of word of the mouth, because if you do a good thing, people would just share it with other people. WhatsApp, as you said, has been a very powerful communication tool with the team and also with customers. Many people just book over WhatsApp. And as you know, also, I think all these platforms, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, they help a lot. I haven't been using the last ones a lot, but basically a lot of operation and logistics has been based on WhatsApp.
Wow, great. If I think of WhatsApp, it's a lot of it's not, for me, it's not yet for business, but I love to hear that other side of the story. I love that. Really, really. Thank you so much. Dear Andreas, your dream is to travel around the world by motorcycle. Will you then be a digital nomad?
Well, it's a dream to travel like that, but I'd probably be a digital nomad with a fixed home, I would say. Huh? I would always love to come back, and I saw the picture what you mentioned before from Mahsa as well, with what she travels. I mean, we met in person as well a few years ago, and to be honest, no, I couldn't do that. Sometimes I think I wish I could do it. On the other hand, especially this morning when I was shaving my face, having my bath, and I thought, I would miss that luxury.
You love your bed.
That's why I don't have a beard.
Good decision, Mahsa.
That's a good one. Yeah, no, but it's for me. What connected us actually, Mahsa and I, we know her since quite many years right now already, and it's actually exploring the cultures. And
yes.
She does it while traveling, and I was actually doing that as it was my job as a tourism professional. And also when people come to Switzerland, I want to show them our culture. And it's not only about banks and chocolate. There's much more to see, And anyway, there is no chocolate left because I eat it all the time. There is no chocolate left.
So it's time you get out of Switzerland.
Yeah. No, but I think that's so important to understand each other. And also as a hotel owner, I had to deal with a lot of different nationalities. And to be honest, I was not really a good boss because I didn't know as much as I know now. It's so important that you try to understand the other person, especially the other cultures. And when you are ready and you understand the other culture, you can also start to understand yourself, actually. Well, you should know yourself before, but you can then build bridges. That's what I mean, and this bridge building thing is actually what me then connected with you, Susan. And one thing I can say, ladies, thank you very much that you are on the core team of Global Riders. This makes me so happy and proud. And that together with Grace and Wari, the other great woman you will introduce then next in the next show.
Grace will join soon.
This is really, really inspiring. And maybe for the others, we have men too in the team. We think very diverse.
We have bikers and flyers, right?
Exactly. You're the only one who's discriminating bikers because you can fly, we have to ride.
I love that. I love that. We'll come back shortly to that. Thank you so much, Andreas. Before we move to our second point, and that would be, why do you love to travel by motorcycle? This time I'll start with you, Andreas. And how does it help you build your bridges? Let's see who has joined. Or maybe you have a question, dear community. Just put it into the chat. We are there for you. Let's see what people are saying. Gisela is, I think, she's happy with us, as I can see. And Rosita is asking, where in Egypt are you located?
Yeah, right now I'm in Cairo, but because I'm on my motorbike here, so basically, I move around. But for now, in Cairo.
It's very hard. It's very hard to make a date with Mahsa, I can tell you. You have to chase her like hell if you want to get her.
Oh my God. We have Anna with us. We have Thomas. We have Adeleke all the way from Nigeria. He'll be
God, Nigeria far away. Hello to Nigeria.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Vienna,
we have
wonderful.
Gisela from Vienna. We have Chef Kate. So happy you're here. We have Moses on the boat. Where are you from, Moses? Thank you so much.
Hey, from Vienna, I can tell you a quick story. We went there once with my company, with the other company I used to run, and I was telling to the people something in front of the castle there, Castle Schönbrunn. And I was wearing my glasses, like that, so, and saying something very important, and everybody was surrounded me, and then a bird came and then woof, exactly posted his brown thing here. Can you believe, or can you imagine? It was then difficult to talk seriously still about that topic, because people were laughing like hell, I'd never forget that. So shit happens, became a completely new sense to me then.
Shit happens. Yeah, I love the story. We have Natalie with us. Thank you, Natalie, for joining. So happy from Munich. Enrico's here. We have Ursula. Great people. I can see also, that's you. How did you write there? Thank you so much. You have Grace. Grace will be a guest. I love her way to. We have Alexandra, and I think there was a question or something like that. Max, I'll just read it loudly. Riding a motorcycle not only means endless freedom, it brings me very close to culture. Max, you're also a cyclist. Great.
He's also a biker. Yeah, he's also a biker.
So I can see what joins there. That I would otherwise not be able to perceive. My last biker trip took me through Africa for over 3 months. Max, this is your club. Connect to Grace, connect to Mahsa. Great. I love that. We've got Karin from Leipzig, and great. And LinkedIn user is saying, understand the culture is important in connecting from Quezon City. Where is that? And Rosita is saying she's got to talk to you, Mahsa. So you see, new connection.
Quezon City is on the Philippines. Quezon City is on the Philippines.
Wow. Look, people, we are really connecting the world, people and the world. Great people, great values. I love that. Now, let's continue. Why do you love traveling by motorcycle? Just shortly, dear Andreas, and how does it help you build bridges? Because that's one of our mission, or that's our main mission.
I think there are different reasons. One is especially for those who are not biking. I may explain that. Bikers somehow are a family. Even in the biking scene, we have different kind of bikers. You see in the background my 2 bikes. One is an enduro bike, we call, so you can ride gravel roads or even a little bit off-road. And the other one is a cruiser, the colorful one. So, and then with that one, you ride mainly on streets and the roads. But when you meet each other in a gas station or you sit in a restaurant for lunch, and you see another biker, you see someone wearing a helmet, you start to talk with him, and you do not talk about where are you from, or yeah, maybe sometimes that, but what's your work, or nothing. It doesn't matter. You're talking about where have you been, how was the road, or you talk about the bike, and then you exchange stories. And
Wow.
we know
Just
that we know
shortly,
that
Andreas,
people.
just shortly. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
this is what also
Max.
Max is saying, the biker language, right?
It's exactly that. It's exactly that. It's like a family, It's really when you. I mean, I remember I have no people that I know from Saudi Arabia, for example. That's very, very foreign to me. There were two guys from Saudi Arabia and Switzerland in the gas station. I went to them, was wearing my shirt, and we had a great discussion. I was inviting them to me. They were staying overnight, and it was really a great evening. And this is something, I mean, there are a lot of other people, tourists from all over the world. I would never do that. Normally there are tourists from all over the world. At the moment, there are none. But this is the thing what connects you. And also, when I was traveling in Eastern Europe, or even when I was in Kenya, I met so many nice people all over, and people are, in general, I would say, Mahsa has much more experience than I have in traveling, but I think 99% of the cases, people are very, very welcoming.
Wow.
Do you agree, Mahsa?
Absolutely. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sitting here.
Yeah, it is great, and it's a virus which just gets you, and then because you travel differently, you travel one way, on one hand fast, but on the other hand also slow, because you stop all over, you try to explore things, and the infos you get and from the local bikers that you meet. I mean, that's the point. That's why I also create the Global Riders, the local knowledge. This is what brings you together with local people, and you learn from them. They teach you because they understand. Or maybe you don't know the rules, and you can ask them. They explain you everything, because very often you behave like, sorry to say that, you behave like shit because you don't know. Misunderstandings, But when you know, and they can explain you, and you try to look through their glasses, so then you understand, and then it's so easy, and then you can also explain sometimes what you do. Like I was building bridges with Swiss folklore as well. I had a big Swiss folklore event, the park called Mystery Park. It was called. It doesn't exist anymore like that anymore. But however, and I was combining it, but I always had guests from other countries, because there is either, when you Max, for example, food, bread you have everywhere in every country. It looks different, it tastes different, but it's bread. Music instrument, a flute you have everywhere. A flute exists in every culture. They sound different, but they can play music together, and it sounds wonderful. And biking, music, traveling, as soon as you're open-minded, you connect with other people, and it gives you a lot of power and happiness.
Wow.
And that's why I'm so happy that I have you on the team, together with Grace, who is here as well. And I'm not sure if the others are here. Otherwise, I would mention them. I didn't see them. But David, Jürgen, it's great to have you all on board.
Thank you so much. Amazing. And I love your way, how you value people and culture, and learn from different branches, Andreas. Keep it up. I love that. Thank you. Dear Mahsa, you once also said, people ask you, you are a woman, how can you do that? Something like that. How is the experience as a biker, as a woman? How does it help you change perspective?
She doesn't have to shave. She doesn't have to shave. That's the point. I know it now.
You have it easier, right?
Yeah, traveling as a woman, I mean, at the beginning, I wasn't aware of the difference, because you do what you do and you don't yourself, from the perspective of other people, right? So I never asked myself that question. But while, noticing that so many people ask me, like, how is traveling as a woman? How is riding as a woman? I was like, oh, that's just normal. Like, what do you mean? And finally, I understood the question after a few years. And especially it happened to me while I started sometimes riding and traveling with male riders. I noticed there is a difference, how people approach you, how even you react to different situation, whether or not you are a single woman, a solo traveler, or you're accompanied by somebody else. So there are advantages and disadvantages. Advantages that many people kind of like protect you, so that gives you kind of like security, sense of safety and security. But also disadvantages is that you kind of scares people off. It's very funny, but a woman on a bike, I think it's more than a scary sight to people. They kind of like, many people just feel ashamed to come and talk to you. While if it was Andreas, I guess any other biker would just come to you and ask you the questions. But many times when they arrive somewhere, people like look at you, but they don't, pass this imaginary line. They don't come to you because they just don't know. They cannot understand who you are, what you are doing. So you are kind of like a rare sight. And it happens a lot that there is kind of like this curtain of silence, or, and then you smile and you go to people and you talk to them and you break the ice, and then it's fine. But
it takes time, eh?
Yes.
It takes longer than Andreas. Andreas, did people ever ask you how is it to be on a bike alone as a man?
In general, it's positive. It also really depends what bike I have and where I'm traveling. When I have my BMW GS, the one on this side, where is it? Here, this one. People don't talk to me because it's mainstream. Everybody has a bike like that almost in the biker scene, in the biker scene. But when I use them, where is it? Here, this one, this colorful one here, yeah. It's an Indian Roadmaster. It used to be pretty rare. It's coming up now. It's a newer brand. Looks a little bit different. Yeah, then for sure I have immediately discussions. Some think I would like to have a bike like that, and the other one, some are jealous, some are happy, some are curious. But mostly,
but there's
it's
something
very
to talk about.
Yeah, there are a lot of elderly people, elderly men especially, coming. Oh, when I was young, I had an Indian, and it's interesting. You hear so many interesting stories. And what I do then, not all bikers do that. So maybe a tip for those who are not biking: never touch a bike. Never touch a bike without asking.
Really?
Because that's holy. Yeah, it can be if you find an aggressive biker that you're in trouble. Me, I'm not really aggressive. I don't like it when they touch it themselves, but when they ask, I offer them to take pictures of them. And I had one story. It was on the Bulgarian border. They wanted. Was able to pass the whole line. They were waiting in the cross of the borders, in front of the border. All those cars at on the few hundred meters line. And they saw my bike. I was with my Indian motorcycle, and they said, "Okay, come on over here." And it was so funny because they all those how you call them, the border control. They wanted to make a picture, And I said, "Okay, let's come in here." And then one man who was in the box to control the cars, he said, "Okay, you have to wait. I need to take a picture first." And then we were talking there. The others had to wait, and that was so. For those in the car, I apologize if there is anyone here now who was sitting there in the car. But for me, it was so funny and interesting. And this is just one story that replaces actually, or explains what can happen when you're traveling. But you need to be also a little open, and not, don't touch my bike. And then,
Yeah.
You can make people happy just with sitting on such a bike.
Yes.
And because also for some people it's a pure luxury they can never afford, and we should be grateful that we have this possibility, that we are able to travel and give them something. And then one more story, that's the last one. I always transport chocolate with me, and I was installing a small fridge in my bike, a very small one. And when I go somewhere and I see children or something, and if it's okay with the parents have to be around because I do not want to have any troubles. I give them chocolate. And there was one family in Romania once. I asked them, where is the way to somewhere, because the GPS did not work there. And then I gave them, all of them, a piece of chocolate. We would say in Switzerland, it's nothing. But the mother and one child started to cry. And makes me emotional too when I think about it. They started to cry because someone makes them a gift, and a piece of chocolate, that's probably something special to them. And it showed me again, just give something, even it's small, give it from heart, and it makes people happy.
And make a difference. Wow, wow. All angels are on motorcycles. That's what I thought. Angels come by
Say
bike.
again. Sorry, I didn't
Angel,
get it.
you are an angel
Oh, well.
at that time. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Masa, coming back to you, I love the point that you say you and breaking ice can just be also with a smile. I love that. And making the first step, but also you don't think about it. You as a woman on the bike, it's just you perceive it. People see you like that, but how do you go about it? I like it. I like it so much, and I'm so sure you have inspired many women who'd love to do that also alone. And I'm happy about that. I'm happy about that. Great, great. So, what is your next trip? Where is your next trip going to?
I think it's a little bit difficult to plan, right? Because
Yeah.
I mean, when you're on a bike, you need you are overlanding, you are crossing the borders, and many borders are closed, or you just don't know. And actually, on this current trip, I think I have been for 2 years by now. Because when I started, at some point, March 2020, it caught us all, and
Yes.
I had to change plans. And that's, I think, the best part of traveling. I think, and that's something, a learning that you take from traveling, and even from motorcycling, because it just intensifies the process of traveling into our own life, to be flexible, to go with the flow. Like if you go to one border and it's closed, then you have to detour to another
Oh
border.
yes.
If you go and take a road and it's closed, and you're in a foreign country, and it's getting dark and it's raining whatsoever, you have to go somewhere else. So that's, adjusting to a new environment, that adapting. I think this is like the one of the most ancient parts of us as human beings, as animals, as like living creatures. So that's kind of like a very present when you travel on a bike, on a long trip. So I don't know where I'm going, because my ideal case would be to continue from Egypt to Jordan to Israel, and then take a ferry back to Turkey, and kind of like finish the loop I started. 2 years ago, I left from Austria. But I don't know if the borders are going to be open. So for now, I'm in Cairo, and I'm also taking advantage of my time learning Arabic. So
I love that. You go with the flow. You take, you use the chance you have. You learn more language, even more languages. Wow, wow,
yeah.
wow. I love that. Great. We've got our last point, but look, Gisela is saying thank you for the great story, Andreas, for that story.
You're welcome.
Great listening to you. Gisela says, and the LinkedIn user is confirming that Philippines. Great, great. Dear community, stay tuned. There's something also to win. And we're going to our last part. You can choose between the two. What is your biggest mistake, your biggest learning while biking, traveling, or doing business from far away from Spain, maybe? Or do you have 3 tips for those who love business culture and traveling? Dear Martha, let's start with you.
Yeah. Um, Mistakes. I mean, depending on the type of personality, some people never make a mistake. It's always other people's mistakes.
I love
and
that.
some people, make mistake and admit it. So let's say about, like, tips. I think it's like a more, it's a better way to approach a relaxed Sunday.
Yeah.
I would say, I mean, talking about business, obviously, we are covering another topic. Talking about traveling or culture is a different thing. But I think the concept of openness, just being open, listening to people and knowing yourself, knowing where you are, adapting again to things based on the information you get from your environment. That's super important when you do anything. You need to be open. And you kind of also, like, it's a second tip maybe. In my opinion, we need to try a little bit out of the box, because we have all been programmed in certain ways that are not functioning. They are dysfunctional at school, in our society. The norms I have in each country, and they are very different, but they really don't, value our real needs. So I think we have reached that point that we need to think a little bit out of the box, no matter what we do. And maybe a third thing is just we need some discipline. No matter what we
Oh,
do,
yes.
discipline is always good.
Oh, yes. I love that. Great takeaways. Great takeaways. Be open, be alert, watch your environment, the context, and think out of the box, and be disciplined. Great takeaways. Great. Dear Andreas, we're coming back to you, but look, dear community, we have our question today, and that should be, you can find out where do we find the longest pedestrian suspension bridge in the world? And what you'll win, that's something great, 1 hour with our Swizzly biker. The only one, right? You're the only Swizzly biker.
I'm the only one. Yeah, I'm the only one. Yeah, I'm the original.
Can I respond the question? I want some chocolates.
Mahsa, you're always welcome. You always have an open door, and I will open the fridge for you. There will be tons of chocolate for you. That's not a problem.
Right. Thank you so much. Dear Andreas, what would you like to tell us? Your biggest mistake, your biggest learning, or do you also have 3 tips like Mahsa had?
Yeah, about a mistake, I will say something what probably people will not expect, and that's do not find the compromise, but find the synergetic solution. This is something which is very important, because especially when you deal with foreign cultures, you will not make it possible immediately to understand each other, especially when they're very, very strange from my point of view. I need to go deeper. Why they think like that? What's the reason? And there is very often a deep cultural background which I do not understand immediately. And when I explain the person about, maybe you remember what I did in the last meeting also, I said about values, how we think. That's so important to have this, what's in English, a fundament? I don't know.
Base, foundation?
Yeah, something like that, probably. Yeah. It's not my native language. That's also a problem sometimes. The language, if you then have a misunderstanding of the language, especially when the people are talking with each other who are not English, which is not their mother tongue, then sometimes you do not understand the same thing with the same word, can also be a problem.
Sure.
And this synergetic solution, what I mean with that is, as soon as you start to understand each other, culture-wise, personal-wise, and everything, then you can start to find a solution. And you should then find a solution which is a win-win situation. And that's already difficult at home to do that all the time. Sometimes I fail, I try, but sometimes also too egoistic or do the other thing, you know. There's always a winner and a loser, and if you do it like that. But the best is when they're both winners, when you're win-win.
Great. And especially if you clarify that from the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. You have to explain that very often, because it's not an easy process, to be honest, because we do not learn that. Most of us, at least, we do not learn that. We are learning either you were born and raised as a winner somehow, and then you have to win and win and win, and the others lose. Or you were born as raised as a loser, and you think, oh, I cannot say the truth, I cannot say what I think, otherwise the other one will not like me, or I don't know.
You're right.
All of these processes. Huh?
Yeah.
And that's actually something very important.
I love that.
What else to say? What was the tips? Yeah, stay curious, be open-minded, stay and do sometimes things what you always say, I have never done that before, then do it. And it's a reason that you can say, I have done it. Because I don't like it when people say, I have never done that before, I don't like it, you know, and I don't want to try it. I'm too old. Yeah, when is too old? I know people, you know, I met a biker, motorcyclist again, 88 years old. He was riding like, I would say the word, like an angel, like an expert. It was hard to follow him. And he's traveling the world as well, as now he's traveling Europe. And he also just told me, just keep going. Don't think about the pain here, the pain there. There is always something hurting. Just go. He tells me, if it hurts me at home in the sofa or on the motorcycle, it doesn't matter. The pain is the same, but on the motorcycle, I have fun at least. I never forgot that.
Yeah. So yes, I love that. So don't listen to your pain. Yeah. So much.
Yeah. This is what I think, and there could be
Great.
for sure more tips. And digitalization, maybe also, especially when you have an office job, think about digitalization, study it. It doesn't bite you. Every journey starts with the first step. Be open-minded, try everything out, and allow yourself to make failures.
I love that. I love that. I love that so much. Yeah, synergies, win-win, thinking win-win, like Stephen Covey tells us. Not win-lose, not always what's in there for me. And be curious, remain curious. See something you don't understand, just be curious and ask. I love that. And love digitalization.
And this is how we created a new hashtag, but you can't name it now.
Common success.
Exactly.
I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's see if we have something relevant for you. And also, LinkedIn user is saying, thank you, Andreas. You took gas. What does it mean?
Petrol. I have petrol
Like
here.
oil or what?
That's petrol inside here. Yeah, drink that, Don't do it. That was a joke. I'm not a president. It's a joke. So don't do it.
Don't try this at home, right?
No, don't try it at home.
Usually saying local and global. Yeah, both. Embrace both. Building bridges. Exactly, Ursula. That's what we love. Traveling is living open-minded.
May I mention something? Actually, Ursula Lange. Hi, Ursula. She actually invited me also to a podcast show on her profile. You'll find it. She made a post about it. We met us also on LinkedIn, and those who want to listen again, we will then talk about another topic. Is then how to international leadership, how to lead international teams. This will be then the topic. Yeah.
That's great. Love that. Max is saying, exactly. Yeah, he has met you already, but you speak the same biker language. Love that. And Thomas is saying, good point. If they appear strange to you, you might also appear strange to them. I love that.
Absolutely.
I love that. I can break chocolate. That's what Rosita is saying to Cairo next time.
Perfect.
Oh, you can bring that to Switzerland too, Rosita.
And now coming back to our question, Florian is saying Switzerland. And I've just seen this, our English expert, diversity and leadership expert, Natalie, saying fundamentals. That was your question. How do you call fundament in English?
Oh,
remember?
Yeah. Okay,
thank you, Natalie. And Ursula is also saying perfect story. Great words from Mark, and the story of the 88-year-old biker. Great. As I can see, the question was, dear community, where do we find the longest pedestrian suspension bridge in the world? And what I can see is that Florian got it.
Is he from
Florian?
Is Florian from Switzerland? Maybe.
Florian, are you from Switzerland? I think so.
So then the question is, what is the longest suspension bridge outside of Switzerland?
Yeah. Do you know it, Mahsa?
No.
Oh my God! But you have the prize, Florian, and enjoy. Are you connected, Andreas?
We will ride over the bridge then.
Yes. Oh, you are not allowed to, maybe. No. He's saying yes, he's from Switzerland. You do that. I'll send us a picture. Thank you so much, Natalie. Stefan has just joined. Thank you so much, dear Mahsa, dear Andreas, for the inspiring talks. I really enjoyed every word you said, and I'm happy we are connected and still going to build bridges for a better world for our children and our grandchildren. Now, do you have a last word on a Sunday, maybe? What are we going to do now? And last word for our community. Let me see.
Mahsa,
Thank you, thank you.
I give Mahsa the word.
Yeah. Sorry, because I didn't hear you completely. What was the question? What we are going to be doing on Sunday?
What are you going to do today, or maybe your last word to our community? Then we close our session.
Yeah. Well, today is the first day of the week here in Egypt, because it's a Muslim country. So the weekend is a Friday and Saturday. So it's kind of weird for me because, like in Egypt, I'm supposed to be doing things and active and normal life, but then in Europe and rest of the world not. So it needs also again adaptation and adjustment. I'm gonna continue with my Arabic and work a little bit. Seems that Corona, many people are getting vaccinated and the borders might be open, because I work in travel industry and not just a tourist. So I'm having like some travel requests to organize tours in Spain, other areas. So I'm going to be working on that. And then usually in the evening I just go out, because we don't have any lockdown here. There are just no restrictions at all. So I guess I'm gonna just go to watch a movie or do something like a concert, something this evening. Yeah.
Wow, love that, love that. Yeah. And you're Arabic. How do you say lockdown in Arabic?
How do you say what? Lockdown. I don't know. We never use the word. To be honest, I don't know, because it's just normal life.
It's normal life. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Back in Egypt, it's normal life. Thank you so much, Mahsa. Love that. Dear Andreas, your last word.
My last word. That will not be one word. It will be 3 words probably. First of all, what I do on Sunday, I will now go to my apartment and share some time with my son. That's important because family is, I think, the most important thing in life. And now I have 2 tips actually, or not 2 requests. For those who are car drivers and do not ride a motorcycle, next time when it's 40 degrees somewhere outside, or even 30 degrees, and you're on the highway and there are motorcyclists passing, give them space that they can pass. I know officially it's illegal to do that, but we wear helmets, sometimes black trousers, and then it becomes hot. We start to sweat, and it's problem with drinking sometimes. I can't drink. I'm a tour guide. I have the mini bar with me always, but others don't have that. So give them space. It's not a problem when they arrive a little bit earlier on their go. That's very important message. And for the bikers, if there are any bikers, please take some trainings. When you start the session, when you start the season, take some trainings to get used to the bike again. It protects your life, and most of us only have one of it.
Safety first. Safety first. Love that. Love that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Andrea. I love your message as well. Love your message, Mahsa. I'm glad we are connected. I'm still going to build a lot of bridges. And please, dear community, connect with the 2. If not yet, enjoy your Sunday. Thank you so much.
We are global riders. Thank you.
We are global riders, right?